Yo guys, Features Gaming here and welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we are back on F1 My Team for another episode of the My Team Career Mode episode 6 for the French Grand Prix today. So to start off with the video, I got all recommended R&D upgrades, and I also got some new parts of the power unit to replace the kind of worn ones, including the control electronics which actually failed in the last episode, which was at the Canadian Grand Prix, causing me to DNF. We also applied some team activities, simulated through the week, and we actually had to sort something out with the marketing department.
Okay, we've had the new parts come through the fabrication process. We'll have them with us for the next Grand Prix. Could you take a look at this for us, please?
So the team basically wanted to invest in more weekend merchandising, which I decided to accept. Even though declining wouldn't have done anything, I decided that paying a small 50k would boost the team acclaim, should be good in the long run.
You handled that well. Thank you.
No problem, bro. So we continued simulating through the week, and then we got on to qualifying. So this is my first lap in qualifying, so making sure I got a pretty good run out the last corner. So I decided to slow down and then make sure I get the the best slingshot I could out the last corner. Make sure to open up DRS down this home straight, and then coming into turn 1 and 2, and I just wanted to make sure that I tried to hook both of these apexes. So put on the brakes there, swung it into turns 1 and 2, and I think it went pretty well. Now coming down here into turn 3, wanted to make sure that I tried to hug this apex, which opened up this corner a little bit, turn 5, and then into turn 5, sorry, that was turn 4. And then just making sure I try and get a good exit out of turn 6 for the very long straight. That's turn 7 onto the straight, open up DRS, making sure I get it open. Two people already saying the fastest lap, but that's okay. So coming down the straight, just wanted to make sure that I try and get a good braking zone with a good line, turning into the tight chicane, turns 8 and 9, turning through there pretty well. And then coming up to turn 10, just making sure I try and keep the power planted, and try and get a good exit out of turn 9 as well. I think that really sets you up perfectly for the second part of the straight. Turn 10, pretty much flat out, and then coming into turn 11, a bit of braking there. Just making sure that you try and hook the apex as much as possible, going through there, which is good. And then into turn 12, making sure you have a very good brake there, a little bit of a tight corner to spot your braking point as well with turn 11 as well. And then coming through turn 13 into turn 14, a very long sweeping left-hander, and then a very tight right hairpin there to end out the lap. And then making sure you get a pretty good exit out of there, open DRS for the straight, keep it planted. What's the first lap going to be? It's going to be a 1:31.7 into P2 already, and I knew that that was a pretty good lap, so I didn't actually decide to go out again, and I actually got through into Q2 with P6 with a 1:31.702, nearly 4 tenths down off P1, and my teammate Jack Aiken in P20 out with a 1:33.8, so he's going to have to make up a bit of a bit of time in the race. Into my first lap in Q2, so making sure that I try and get a pretty good lap in here as well. I'm actually electing to go onto the medium tires as well, so trying to make sure that I get a pretty good lap on these medium tires. So open up DRS. It's a bit more sunny now in these skies, so it's probably going to help the track evolution, I think, maybe. But yeah, into turns 1 and 2, again just trying to make sure that I kiss those two apexes, which again I think I do quite nicely. And then coming through here, and I actually noticed an orange light on my MFD, so that basically means probably one of the engine components are a bit worn. But coming into turns 3, 4 and 5, making sure I kiss those apexes into turn 6 as well, again trying to make a great apex for turn 7, and then opening up for the very long back straight. Again, opening DRS. I can actually see the DRS. Now, my gearbox is actually worn, so I was thinking maybe I do need to replace that for the next episode. Even though we will have to incur an engine penalty, it's better to get a new gearbox and start further back and actually complete the race rather than DNFing. So into those two chicanes, turns 8 and 9, I think it went pretty well as well. So then coming up here, turn 10, making sure I get it pretty flat. Well, it is flat. I don't know why I say it's not flat. It is flat. Like, you can literally just carry all your speed into there. Turn 11, again another tricky downhill right hander, and then into this turn 12, and then coming into turn 13 here. What can we do? coming into this very tight left hairpin, and then into the very tight right hairpin. Can I keep the car? I mean, I probably lost a bit of time within those last two corners, but I still get the car around, and it's only good for a 132.7 P3. So my Q1 time actually quicker. So yeah, I had to go for another lap. I'm now on the softs. I'm actually in P10, so I was just about through, but I was on the cusp. So I was kind of like thinking, right, I need to improve on this lap, otherwise I'm probably going to be out. So coming through these few turns, just trying to make sure again I get a good slingshot out of this corner. So opening up DRS, I can see that second light, that second blue light on the RPM thing, so I know that my DRS is open. Coming into turn 1 and 2, again trying to make sure that I literally get those apexes good, and I'm actually green on my delta by 1/10, and that is going up rapidly. And then coming into turn 3, 4 and 5, this very tricky sequence, kind of like a mini chicane in a way, but yeah, just trying to make sure that I get there. That turn 6 or turn 5 didn't go as well as I would have hoped. Turn 6, again trying to make sure that I keep the car planted, and I do. 4/10 up on my delta. This is looking to get me into Q3 as it stands. I'm still in P10 though. Alright, I can actually see my DRS light, my second blue light, so I actually had to check that my DRS was open. Coming into turn 8 and 9, again trying to make sure that I keep the car planted, and I do. 6/10 up on my delta. I'm still in the promotion zone, just slightly though. And then coming into turn 10, again keeping it planted. I needed to make this sector 3 good. I'm now actually down into P11 as my team tells me, so I just needed to make sure that I kept that I get this car around. 8/10 up on my delta now coming into turn 12, and then honestly on my mind I was like thinking, right, these last 3 turns need to be perfect. So into turn 14 here, this very long sweeping left-hander, very long, and then into the tight right hairpin. What can I do? I'm 1.2 seconds up on my delta, and that pretty much gets me through with a 131, and I am in P4. So I am through into Q3 for I think the 3rd time this season, which is really good with a 131.4. So about 5/10 off Valtteri Bottas, who was the quickest in Q2. Now into the crucial Q3. What can I do in order to secure my position? How far up on the grid can I start? So I was just like thinking in my mind, right, this needs to be a good lap. So coming into turns 1 and 2, again trying to do what I do all the time. The second one probably could have been a bit better than turn 1. But yeah, coming into turn 3, 4 and 5, what can I do with this sequence of corners? Making sure to get those apexes. I didn't really get the apex in turn 4, neither did I in turn 5, but I just wanted to try and make sure that turn 6 was okay to set me up for the most straight line speed that I could get on the main straight. The setup felt pretty good on this car, as well as I have got a few setups for pretty much most of the tracks now. It's turns 8 and 9 now. Again, trying to make sure that I literally get those apexes in. Yeah, that wasn't the best time doing that. So I knew I could probably make up a bit of time going into that chicane as well. It's turn 10. Again, keeping it flat. And then coming into turn 11, what can I do? I mean, just trying to make sure that I get a very late apex there, which I think I do pretty well. Coming into turn 12, what can I do? Giving it very close to the apex there, but I could have done a bit more. And now onto the final part of the lap. What can I do? Turn 14 goes pretty well. Into turn 15, very tight right hairpin, and I think that was a pretty good lap. Open DRS for the home straight, and what is the time going to be? It's going to be a 131.8, only good enough for P4. So yeah, I went for another lap. I'm actually down in P8 now, so other cars seem to have gotten a better lap time. So going down this, and I was like thinking, right, the car's feeling okay, let's just fully send this. I effectively have nothing to lose, so I just fully send the car. What can I do? So into turn 1, hugging the apex. Turn 3, again keeping it flat, but then I get onto the there, onto the curb and spin around, and yeah, that was pretty much my lap over, my qualifying over. So as it stands, P8 for is going to be my starting position. So I decided to just complete the lap, even though I was, I was gonna, not improve. But it's going to be P8 on the grid for Sunday for the race. So yeah, as you can see there, confirmation starting P8 with a 131.8. I was 0.8 off Max Verstappen on pole position. So I think now we'll get into the race and see what I did. So here we are for the French Grand Prix. As you can see, there is the grid. Max Verstappen starting on pole. A great qualifying lap from him and the two Mercedes. And you can see me there in P8. And obviously, as I said, my teammate Jack Aitken starting in P20. He needs to make up a few places in the race. The Castellet then, the French Grand Prix. A very tricky Sector 1. Again, with a flat out Sector 2 into a very, very tight hairpin turns 8 and 9, and a pretty much tricky / flat out Sector 3. You can make up a lot of time or not into those sections. Now onto the race start, the lights are out and away we go, and the two Mercedes get a great start and both get past the Red Bull of Max Verstappen. You can see me there going down the inside of the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, and Sergio Perez as well is actually there on my outside, and I'm actually past the Red Bull as it stands. Can the Red Bull do anything coming into turn 4 or turn 3? He's there on my outside. I have the inside for turn 4, and then it's turn 5. He is alongside and now ahead. But into turn 6, I just try and keep it planted. It's side by side going through turn 6. And I think I get the better exit, a better wheel bang in there probably. And I am past the Red Bull. But coming down this very long back straight, can the Red Bull do anything coming into turn 8? Can he get closer? I do move to the inside to try and protect my position a little bit. Going through there. And I think I, do that. But I actually go off the track slightly. So it might give Sergio Perez a bit of ground. He's getting closer into turn 10. Can he do anything? He's alongside me. It's side by side yet again going into turn 10. Who's going to come out on top into turn turn 11, sorry. And I just spot a gap there, and I just say, sorry, Sergio, I'm just going past there. But coming into turn 12, he's still alongside me. How long is this battle going to go on for? I hope not the 27 laps it's going to be in this Grand Prix. But I am through the Red Bull. It's for Sergio Perez. There's only probably this turn 15 that's left, but he can't get closer. So up into P4, making up 4 positions for the start of the race. And there's actually going to be rain predicted in further on in the race, so I was kind of like thinking I need to make these positions quick, because if that rain does come, then it's probably there's probably going to be hard to overtake some cars. So onto lap 5, my tires were worn out, so I decided to pit with this very annoying slow pit lane. Lewis Hamilton there getting a bit close to me, but I didn't have to slow down, so it was all good. So into my pit box. Can the team get a quick stop? It's okay. I wouldn't say I lost too much time, but definitely could have been quicker. And then onto the pit exit. What can I do now on these fresh medium tires? I think everyone pretty much pitted, or most of the pack. So I'm behind Nikita Mazepin in front of me. So that on the coming on to the end of that lap, P6. I wasn't too close into turn 15, but I knew I was kind of close. So coming down the back straight, I didn't actually have DRS here, so you can see how much time I just made up on fresh rubber on the Haas driver, even without needing DRS. But I go down the inside there. Nikita Mazepin not really giving me the space there, and I think there was a bit of wheel bang in there. But yeah, I got through. Nikita Mazepin could have given me a bit more space. They're coming down into turn 3. Can I do anything on a Mick Schumacher in the other Haas? And then down here, I spot an opportunity down the inside into turn 5, and I just about get it done. And that's pretty much the position made on both Haas cars as well. Now coming down the very long back straight into turn 8, can I do anything on George Russell in the Williams? Can I do anything? I'm gaining slightly. I have DRS this time. Getting a bit closer. I have a bit of a look, but then I just think, no, there's just too much ground there, and I took him behind him. and yeah, live to fight another day. Just, you know, not trying to, do anything silly. Getting a good apex, or getting a good exit out of turn 9. Can I do anything going into turn 10? Again, I have another little bit of a look, but turn 10 is just flat out. I'm not, gaining on George Russell that quickly. And then into turn 11, again, like Sergio Perez, I just spot a gap and I just completely send it down there. And that's me up into P11. Now time to chase down my teammate Jack Aitken. Oh, and that's Lewis Hamilton DNFing out of the race. What's happened to him? The 7-time world champion is out of the French Grand Prix. What's happened to him? So he's coming through turn 11. What happened? Is it just an engine penalty, engine failure? Yeah, it's an engine failure. And, smoke was just pouring out the, rear end of that Mercedes. Oh, it's such a disappointment. Lewis Hamilton out of the Grand Prix. Having a really good start there. But anyway, what's happening with me with my teammate Jack Aitken, me in P10. I go down the inside there of turn 15 and get past my teammate into P9. I am now trying to get past Nicholas Latifi down the home straight again. I just have DRS and it's pretty much a breeze, and I'm past him before we get into turn 1. And yeah, that's it. That seals the place on Nicholas Latifi as well. Me now up into P8. So fast forwarding through the race now, I'm now further on in P8 actually, and I'm now trying to chase down Antonio Giovinazzi. Can I do anything coming into turn 10? No, I was gaining, but I wasn't that quick. What am I going to do into turn 11? I think this is pretty much just the same as Perez and Russell. I just go down the inside and get another place, and that's me now back up into P7. Now a little bit later on into the race, about lap 10 now, and I'm trying to chase down Sebastian Vettel in the Aston Martin. I go down the inside of turn 5 there, and I'll tell you what, that was very, very narrow there to get past, but I just about do it. And that's me again up into P6. So I'm going to tell you, these, few laps were absolutely amazing, and the time just flew by. Now we're actually on to lap 14 now, and it's a little bit dark in the air. It's a little bit overcast. And as you will actually see there on the lens, there's actually rain starting to fall now. So the rain is here. The team were telling me that the rain is coming, and we're in for a bit of a wet race. And now we're on to the very next lap, P16, and you can see on the ground how much rain has fallen, and it's making the track a little bit greasy. So trying to keep these tires up to temp and, keeping the car on the track is going to be a bit of a struggle. Again, with me, running no assists or stuff apart from, the corners only one. But yeah, track getting very greasy, and you can just see there the amount of water on the track just down the back straight. I mean, look at turn 7 there, and if we go down the back straight, you can just see there the water on the track is just really, it's just a lot really. So I was kind of like thinking maybe it's time for inters. I wasn't entirely sure, because to be fair, these medium tires were actually feeling okay. Now coming into turn 10, you can see now the spray is starting to appear on the tires. Coming into turn 11, you can see the spray is just getting, it's just there. So I was like thinking, right, it's probably time for inters. The team actually told me that, it's time to box for inters. So I just thought, yeah, why not? Let's just, pit for inters. Let's see what happens. So coming here, down here, and then, you can see like these medium tires are still okay, but yeah, I just did what the team told me. I trusted in them, went into the pits and decided to get a set of inters. I think everyone in the race got went into the pits as well. I think a few people actually pitted a bit like a lap earlier. I think my teammate being one of them. But yeah, I decided to pit now. To hopefully try and retain my P3 at the moment, a podium position. But yeah, oh, that's a very nice camera angle for changing the tires there. But yeah, now onto a fresh set of inters. Can I do anything now? Lap 16, getting out of the pits there. Now onto lap 17, a bit of screeching from the tires there. Me very eager to get on with it, I guess. So how much do these inters have? Are they a race tire? And to be fair, the tires are actually feeling quite okay. So yeah, I was like thinking, yeah, let's go for it then. Let's see what I can do, because I was like thinking probably they're going to take a few, laps to, get up to temperature and stuff. But no, the tires actually felt okay. So coming through at turn 5, what can I do? Ooh, nearly lose the car there. And I'll tell you what, I really had to counter steer into that turn. But yeah, the tyres felt okay-ish, despite that little slide there. And yeah, the race continued. Now we're a little bit later on to the lap 17, and we're actually following Max Verstappen. What's gonna happen to him? Is he gonna DNF? Yeah, his engine just failed again, and that was the real life Grand Prix winner here in 2021. Max Verstappen in the Red Bull DNFing, and yeah, that's a disappointment for both Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen, them both DNFing out of the race. So I'm now promoted back into P2 now. So as it stands, this is going to be a great race. So this is only on lap 20. Now you can see that a bit of a slide there, but the team actually told me that, you know, only 4 laps later, it's probably time for slicks. So again, I did trust in the team. I was like thinking, right, let's just, you know, pit for softs or slicks and see what I can do. So it's another set of mediums to the end of the race. I mean, I was thinking, I'm up in P2. To be fair, is there really anything to lose? Really? Let's just go on to a set of slicks, see what I can do. If it doesn't work out, I can always just pit, because even though I was in a really good position, you know, it's probably best to, you know, just try something. So a very good stop there. I think it was 2 seconds for that. So that was really good. And then coming out again, another screeching of the tires. Again, eager to get on with it. Still in P2. I'm about 16 seconds behind Valtteri Bottas. Charles Leclerc is about 8 seconds behind me. So I do have a bit of space between, you know, both cars. So yeah, just trying to get out, and the tyres did actually feel okay. And now this is only half a lap later on lap 21, and the track is pretty much dry at this point. So yeah, and the tyres were feeling okay, as I said. So yeah, I just you know, started to push a bit. So onto lap 23 here, or onto the end of lap 23 here, going on to lap 24. Now this is actually my quickest lap of the entire race. It was actually the fastest lap of the race. But that was soon beaten. So let's just go through this lap one, you know, all in one. So into turns 1 and 2, again, just trying to make sure that I get those apexes pretty much good. And then coming down into turns 3, 4, and 5. What can I do into these turns? And honestly, I just love these cinematic shots. They're so good. But yeah, again, good on those apexes, making sure to get it into turn 6. Again, okay. Again, you know, getting the car planted. I've said okay about 5 times there, so I'm probably not gonna, you know, say it as much more as I can. Into the long back straight, what can I do going into the chicane of turns 8 and 9? Again, picking my braking zone, and that was pretty good, very decent. I was about to say okay again, but that I'm gonna, you know, restrict myself from saying that word. Now into turn 10, what can I do into turn 10? Flat out through there, good. And then coming into turn 11, and that's just smooth. Very, very decent, I think. And then coming into turn 12, what can I do? Harsh braking, turn left. I mean, it's a little bit difficult to, you know, get the braking because you are braking and turning at the same time. It's turn 14, the long left-hander. What can I do? Good. Into the very tight 15, or very tight turn 15, the very tight right hairpin. Again, good. And coming down the back straight. And I'm probably going to restrict myself from saying good now. So, oh, Nikita Mazepin there coming out of the pit lane. Ooh, it's a bit tight there between me and the Haas driver. But I just get through. And yeah, coming into P20 or onto lap 25 now. So 2 laps to go. But you can see the Haas just getting closer to me. And the team were actually telling me that they were managing an issue. And I didn't know what it was until I got to that stage. And what had happened is my overtake button was stuck on. And I couldn't turn it off. My overtake was stuck on. So yeah, I was losing a bit of time because my overtake was on all the time. So it was making braking a little bit more tricky. But yeah, my overtake was stuck on. And I mean, it was good on the straights. But through the corners, it was no. Thankfully, the issue sorted itself on this back straight. So I was able to, you know, control the car a bit more. But the Haas, you know, with DRS, you know, has the power because it actually fixed itself on the straight. But yeah, Nikita Mazepin nearly gets past me there, but I just say no, and I retain my P2. Lap 26 now, 2 laps to go, and honestly, I just love this track. I mean, some people hate Paul Ricard, but honestly, I really enjoy racing around this track. Yes, it's probably not my best track, but honestly, I do really enjoy this track, and I just love this aerial view as well. It's just so good, and the track just looks astonishing as well. I really enjoy it. And on to the final lap, lap 27, still in P2. Nothing else happened. Charles Leclerc was gaining on me, but yeah, lap 27, controlling the car very well. Obviously, after that overtake issue, coming into the final turn, keep it on the track, and there we go, me down the home straight, and I get P2, a podium finish in changeable conditions, which was absolutely fantastic to get. And I didn't actually get a race finishing thing, but yeah, me in P2 there, Valtteri Bottas winning, my teammate Jack Aitken in P19, so getting, you know, gaining 1 place. But yeah, that is going to be the end of the race and this episode. So I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, then make sure you leave a like on this video. That'd be awesome, and thank you very much. Also, make sure to subscribe as well if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. But until then, take care and peace out.